construction. Former Trump Special Assistant Cassidy Hutchinson said that included Florida's Matt Gates and Alabama's Lloyd Lewis. An explosive disposal unit remains on scene in Saanich following yesterday's wild shootout between suspected bank robbers, and police. City's Sonia Aslam reports some homes and businesses in the area remain evacuated at this hour.
The area is near the BMO and Shelburne near Pear. This is an explosive disposal unit remains there throughout the night, and the violence on Tuesday broke out around 11 in the morning.
Says the war in Ukraine has added to the disruptions caused by
breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 1130.
Air crisis already affecting hundreds of millions of people. In a video message to officials from dozens of rich and developing countries gathered in Berlin, Guterres says there's a real risk that multiple famines will be declared.
And just steps away from public transit. Live at Gateway Residences Park Royal in West Vancouver. Inquire today at gatewayresidencespr.com.
In the traffic center, I'm Riley Phillips with delays here for Grandia and Nanaimo because of earlier traffic light issues. Quite slow there. Looking better though on the approach, but still Oslo area blocked off the right lane is. So slow and free there. Iron Workers from Lawnsdale and Westview pretty busy. Number 1 West from First Avenue. Delays here for 152nd, 68 for the roadwork. Same goes for Highway 15 and Highway. Damages caused by the opioid crisis.
Opioid manufacturer Purdue Pharma and the province of BC, on behalf of all other provinces and territories in this country, have reached a $150 million settlement for Purdue's role in the opioid crisis. This first-of-its-kind settlement in this country was reached due to a proposed class action lawsuit brought in by BC back in 2018. BC's Attorney General
John Eckerman. Here's what else is making news right now.
Crowds and protesters grow outside the U.S. Supreme Court.
I'm angry, I'm fired up, the fight is not over.
After a 50-year-old constitutional right to abortion was overturned.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is calling the U.S. court decision on abortion horrific, as anti-abortion groups here say they hope this leads to restrictions in our country. To leave their home quite yet, but residents should be ready to leave on a short notice if the waters keep on rising. Evacuation alerts are also up for dozens of properties along the Fraser in Abbotsford as well as Harrison Mills. Another public hearing over a proposed social housing building in Kitsilano is slated for tonight at Vancouver City Hall. Over 1,000 pieces of correspondence were sent to the city in opposition of the 129-unit building. Those against it cite safety concerns, with it being next to an elementary school.
The BDC Small Business Loan is all for entrepreneurs. All for giving you quick and easy online access to the funds you need to increase your cash flow, buy new equipment, or invest in new technology. Apply now for a small business loan at bdc.ca/online loan and get up to $100,000 with favorable conditions. BDC. Financing, advising, smart.
If you're on the road, you have a license plate, but not every license plate supports.
On the cool side, 20 degrees is the daytime high, and then 12 degrees for tonight with partly cloudy conditions. Our daytime high temperature today is 20. Weather's brought to you by Trail Appliances. Hot deals, cool savings sale is back at Trail Appliances until July 13th. It's the best price of the year plus those delivery credit on qualifying appliances. Details in store and at trailappliances.com. Time for the City News Market Minute. Here's Iron Special.
Scout Anatol Ganachji has another title to his portfolio. He will now work as an assistant alongside Ganachji. Dr. Dalvin. Avalanche can win it all tonight on ice, leading the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1. Lightning head coach John Cooper said there is no tomorrow. They've got to get it done, and they do. Puck drop at 5 p.m.
Canucks hockey. Together, we are driven.
Anderson shoots, it's in!
We are resilient.
Deep center's man, stopped by Demko. Oh my goodness!
And we are relentless.
Now moves back towards goal center for that scores! The Hughes lets one go, scores!
Vancouver Canucks full season ticket memberships available now, starting at just 5 payments of $239. Visit Canucks.com/membership to learn more.
Reduce your energy use. And with Buddhist BC's rebates, you'll save money. Whether natural gas, electricity, or renewables, let's rethink energy together. Go ahead.
Rebates.
At BuddhistBC.com/rebates. That's energy at work.
It's time to look forward to the next season of Vancouver Canucks hockey. Together, we are driven.
Anderson shoots, it's in!
We are resilient.
Deep center's man, stopped by Demko. Oh my goodness!
And we are relentless.
Now moves back towards goal center for that scores! The Hughes lets one go, scores!
Vancouver Canucks full season ticket memberships available now, starting at just 5 payments of $239. Visit Canucks.com/membership to learn more.
You're listening to City News. I'm Colin Robertson. If you've been tightening your financial belt lately, you're not alone. City News business editor Chris McCusker explains.
Inflation in Canada hasn't been this high since 1983, almost 40 years. And as a result, 45% of respondents in a new study by Angus Reid say they are worse off now than they were last year. That's the highest response rate in at least 12 years. Half of those polled face the challenge to afford their grocery bill, while 1 in 5 say their mortgage payments have increased because of the series of
World leaders today by urging them to learn Canada's Indigenous reconciliation efforts.
In Canada recently, my wife and I were deeply touched to meet many of those engaged in the ongoing process. As challenging as that conversation can be, people across Canada are approaching it with courage and unwavering commitment.
The prince also said he wanted to make clear that each Commonwealth nation's relationship with the Crown is for them to serve, opening the door for countries to sever ties. The head of the UN is issuing an extreme warning about the global food shortage.
UN Secretary General Antonio
And several members of Congress tried to get pardoned for their roles in January 6th.
It's here, road trip season. Time to hit the Petersburg Highway, the Malahad, Rogers Pass. So many choices, but whichever you choose, start at Chevron, where every grade of gas contains Techron. Its unbeatable cleaning power helps keep vital engine parts clean and cleans up deposits left behind by lowers at Chevron. You can save 7 cents per liter and earn rewards too. So start your trip at Chevron and care for your car. Visit journey.ca for terms and conditions.
Now you can live at Park Royal Gateway Residences in West Vancouver, where your favorite shopping experience living experience. Shop, dine, and play right from your doorstep. Park Royal Gateway Residences is now free leasing and features brand new 1, 2, and 3-bedroom contemporary suites.
An hour and a half-ish south of the Peace Arch, about 15 minutes at the Pac Highway heading south, and about 15-20 for Aldergrove and Sumas. Northbound back into Canada, the two crossings to the west, looking at about, say a 30-40 minute wait if you're northbound. Aldergrove looking at, it's kind of varying over there, maybe about a half hour. Northbound Sumas at about a 5-10 minute wait. Love you by Shoppers Drug Mart. Committed to advancing women's health. Visit shoppersdrugmart.ca/love you to learn more. Forecast, some of them cold drifting and snowing weather set now. The heat has arrived, Carl.
Summer in full effect across the Lower Mainland. We've got special weather statements in place, and 21 degrees today with mostly sunny conditions, about 25 further inland, and then 13 for an overnight low. For tomorrow, we've got 28 degrees, mostly sunny conditions. It's about 30 degrees further inland. And then for Sunday and Monday, temperatures near 30 degrees both days, and temperatures away from the water will be in the low 30s at times. And then we'll get some relief on Tuesday with some showers rolling through and back to about 21 degrees. Our daytime high temperature today is 21.
Weather for Janpro Commercial Cleaning. Keep your office or business consistently clean by trusting Janpro, the most trusted name in janitorial services. Visit janpro.ca for a quick and easy estimate.
City News 1130 Inside Scoop.
Coast Mental Health Foundation is thrilled to announce the Courage to Go Further virtual event is back for a second year. Take on your own individual challenge to complete at a time and place of your choice before August 31st.
outdoor adventures. Ensign Pacific on 2nd Avenue between Cambie and Main, or at ensignpacificchrysler.ca. Easy to get to, easy to deal with.
Would you face a truck or a stair backup? If it happens to you, we've got your back. Want to be backed by a leader in client experience? Switch to cooperators and save up to 15% on insurance for your first home. Call 1-800.
Barry denies having sought a pardon. To McGuire, Washington.
Speculation is increasing about the possibility of Pope Francis retiring soon.
Pope Francis's recent health struggles, worsening mobility, and the unusual timing of an important Vatican gathering have led to increased speculation he could be planning to retire. So, Barbara, Megan Williams, ABC News, to that.
Jane Goodall says she's sharing a message of hope and a call to action as she continues her cross-Canada tour. Goodall says she keeps telling her story to try to inspire others.
And then the coach, then we become apathetic and do nothing. And so if we all become apathetic and do nothing, we're doomed. And we are at the critical juncture, and it's desperately important that people get
Says everyone needs to do their part to help restore nature, whether it's picking up plastic trash or appreciating
0.4% from a year earlier, as they hit record highs in a number of sectors. The agency says employers in Canada were actively seeking to fill just over 1 million jobs, a gain of 308,000 compared with April of last year. KPMG has announced the opening of the first KPMG Metaverse Collaboration Hub for employees and clients to connect. Kunal Bhasin is crypto assets and blockchain co-leader at KPMG in Canada.
We launched it this week, so we have been having, some test meetings and stuff in the metaverse on our platform, and we've actually tested it with some of our clients as well, where we ship Oculus headsets to some of the executives, brought them into our metaverse platform, and we had a collaborative meeting over there. It was a fun exercise, and this is something that we want our clients and our employees to experience.
He says this is where we see the world going in the next few years. Big wins on the day and retail Wall Street.
Office staff today. Patrick Alvina, GN from Hammond Sports at 15.
A winning Friday for the North American market, and Bosch Health replaces its former CEO. Business at 26.
It's 3:01 to the traffic center. Things picking up out there, Riley Phillips.
Yeah, a little bit they are. We got a few things on the go right now. When you do have delays here off the Arthur Lang, they're quite busy. If you've got something going on for the Arthur Lang, you can let us know. It looks like, I can't see an issue here on the camera. looking back, but Aurora is quite busy go as you try to proceed off SUC Island stretch. Russ Baker jammed both ways here, heading onto the Moray as well as we try and leave YVR. Updates on the delays given the call. Clearing that crash that should be out of the way now for, it's all about Southwest Marine at 57. Backed up. Reports of an issue for Southwest Marine at Glenham. We have delays to the border crossing. Southbound, you want to head south? Occupations, a busy one right now. You're going to be heading southbound across the line. You're looking at about an hour-ish here from Peace Arch. It's kind of coming down a little bit though, so maybe about an hour wait there.
Is 21. Right now in Vancouver, sunshine and 21 degrees. City news time 3:03. This is breaking news on City News 11:30. Joshua Bowden, a former wide receiver with the BC Lions, sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 14 years. That decision coming out of the BC courtroom just this afternoon. Bowden found guilty last fall of second-degree murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend, Kimberly Algar, back in 2009. She shared with her 3-year-old daughter. Crown prosecutor telling the court during the sentencing hearing last week that Bowden viciously beat Algar, choking her to death. Staged the scene to make it look like an accident. Bowden has maintained his innocence. Stay with City News. More on this breaking story on air and online at citynews.ca. City News in-depth lead coverage of the U.S. Supreme Court overturning the 50-year-old Roe v. Wade decision, re-exposing the cleavage separating both sides of the abortion debate. There's been no shortage of reaction on this side of the border. More on that in a moment. First, City's Caitlin Lee with the latest on the ruling.
There were anti-abortion activists celebrating this morning. This is something I have been waiting for so long. But most have now been replaced outside the Supreme Court with devastated pro-choice protesters who are vowing not to give up the fight. We must stay in these streets right now! We must stop these streets! Non-violently!
Never had an iPhone, likely influence a phone you do have. Joanna Stern in the Wall Street Journal out with a new documentary about the impact of the iPhone.
A lot of the phone today is sort of a remote control for our lives, right? We can order a car, we can order food.
Alex Stone, ABC News.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has met with the Pope and received last month and remains at that level. The TSX is backing away from a session low. It's now down 180 points. At one point it was more than 200. We're sitting at 19,042. In terms of where we're seeing the losses, fairly broad-based. It includes energy stocks as well as gold stocks. A little bit of strength for industrials, but certainly not to outweigh all of the losers. On Wall Street, the Dow keeps moving on either side of even, now up 82 points. The S&P 500 is down 14. The NASDAQ lower by 25. Crude futures down 69 cents to $111.07 a barrel. Gold lower by $4 to $18.17 an ounce. The Canadian dollar sitting at 77.62 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Irene Precklett.
City News Business is brought to you by Horizons ETFs.
The world currently depends on oil and gas, but that may be changing. Is it time your investments change too? Commodities such as lithium, hydrogen, and uranium could be key sources of energy in the next few decades. Horizons ETFs offer a wide range of ETFs that give you exposure to alternative fuels of the future. Horizons ETFs. ETF solutions for every investor. Visit horizonsetfs.com to learn more.
Summer is upon us, and that means adventure. But you can only go where your heart takes you if your car is prepared to get you there. So stop by your nearest Dilawri dealer to get your car ready for your next big adventure. They'll check your cooling system, your tires, AC, all your filters and fluids, so you can have confidence in your car.
Top headlines coming up shortly here on City News 11:30. But before we get there, you can always follow us on social media. We are at City News Van. That goes for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also find more on the stories you've heard on air online anytime at citynews.ca. It's a website being edited by Anna May Nazar and Claire Fenton this morning. Charmaine De Silva is our news director. City News 11:30 is CKWX Vancouver. Ask for City News Vancouver on your smart speaker. It's 11 o'clock.
Vancouver's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 11:30 every
Westminster Highway eastbound closed off the traffic east of number 3 road at the BC Ferries. The Boston Midpoint, 1245 is full. 315 sold out, 545 to 95%. Boston Swartz Bay at noon is about 3/4 full. Horseshoe Bay to Departure Bay, 1105 is just about to leave. And traffic is brought to you by Shannon Oaks. Enjoy all-inclusive senior living at Shannon Oaks in South Vancouver. Take a tour and experience the warmth that awaits you. Visit ShannonOaks.com. Now to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. To meteorologist Carl Lamb.
Lots of people wondering what is in store as we head into the long weekend. And Friday actually looks like it's going to be dry across Metro Vancouver for now. But we do have some showers for areas as you head from the Sunshine Coast all the way up towards the North Coast. And even areas further inland have the potential to get in on some of that rain on Friday afternoon and into the evening. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. And then for
David Eby says this is only the beginning.
We're committed to aggressively pursuing litigation against the other opioid manufacturers, distributors, and their consultants who put profits before people.
Now, this settlement is to recover healthcare costs related to the sale and marketing of opioid-based pain medicines that Purdue created. This is the largest settlement of a government healthcare claim in Canadian history. Now, just a note here that the settlement was reached very early in the litigation process for the allegations against
of a shopping mall by the Russian army, killing many people. It makes me so proud as a British Columbian to see the support that is coming your way.
Displaced Ukrainians will be able to apply for up to 6 months of BC government support after they've accessed federal help.
to a suspected bank robbery. The suspects involved were believed to be wearing body armor. They died at the scene after being shot. Jackson Grasky was in the area and filmed some of what happened on his phone.
Kept filming, and next thing I know, that's kind of when my phone came down. There was a cop about 6 inches from my face, and he was like, "You guys need to get the hell out of here. Like, you gotta go. Like, get out of here. Go now. Like, and that's when my business partner Brody fired up his truck, and we backed out of there and flew out of the parking lot.
Spanish Police Chief Dean Duffy is stunned no one in the public was hurt, given the shootout played out in the street and nearby parking lot. But 6 officers, members of both Spanish and Victoria Police, were injured, with some undergoing emergency operations.
The others that are undergoing surgery obviously have much more serious injuries. And at this point, I just can't comment on the extent or nature of them because it's ongoing.
As for the investigations, there are at least 2. Spanish police will look into what happened, while the Independent Investigations Office says it's also involved, which is the case whenever someone is hurt or dies while interacting with police in BC. Sonia Aslam, City News.
The mayors of Saanich, Victoria, and Esquimalt have released a statement calling yesterday's incident a terrible and violent act.
11:06 here on City News. Cloudy so far today and a lot milder than after that heat wave the last couple of days. 15 degrees your current temperature. We'll hear more from our meteorologist Carl Lamb in about 5 minutes or so. It looks like there were quite a few people looking to get an early jump on summer vacation. BC ferries, they were busy this morning. A number of late departures and some cancellations as well. Things have since began to move a little smoother. We, of course, bring you up to the minute ferry information, traffic, and weather together on the ones.
And a cyclist has died after a collision in downtown Vancouver this morning. VPD saying it was a collision with a semi-truck at Hornby and Pacific. It happened just before 8 this morning. Collision investigators continue looking into this.
People living near Fort Langley, Glen Valley, and Northwest Langley are on evacuation alert as the Fraser River continues rising. According to the Township of Langley, the Mission flood gauge has topped 5.5 meters, and that water is going to keep on rising, they're expecting. No one has...
The BC Nonprofit Housing Association says it shouldn't be a big concern.
If there was any evidence of children being harmed through these developments, I think we'd be hearing about it regularly in the media, and government would be considering or reconsidering its approach to supportive housing.
And Karen Finnan with the Kitsilano Coalition, the resident group leading the opposition, says the proposed building should be smaller so there's less to worry about. The second public hearing takes place at 6 tonight.
1 year after the blistering heat dome left hundreds dead, what does BC's future look like when it comes to handling major weather events? Well, wrapping up her 3-part special series, our Sonia Aslam returns to find out what the province needs to do to come up with a plan in the face of a climate crisis.
2021 was incredible for all the wrong reasons. A heat dome, massive wildfires, and devastating floods, all back to back to back. the heat dome being the most deadly.
We need to have a plan in place that when there's going to be this type of heat, that we really need to ensure that we have the extra staff on to look after getting those calls out to those who can't help.
Burnaby Mayor Mike Hurley, a former firefighter, admits he's worried about the future and thinks everyone else should be too.
It really is something that we really can't allow to ever happen again.
His comments are echoed by Troy Clifford, president of the Ambulance, Paramedics and Dispatchers of BC, who says work is underway to protect this province moving forward, but it's a slow go.
Am I happy that we've seen the training and the infrastructure from an emergency room? No, I'm not. I don't think we've done enough. But we are trying, and we're working closely with BCHS. It's a lot of years that got us into this situation, and it's not going to be fixed overnight.
Kayla Butler with Ecom, a system that was overwhelmed during the heat dome, says summers are difficult, with non-emergency call wait times expected to hit 2 hours this year. But she hopes this will help ease that burden.
The different types of crimes that can be reported for online crime reporting, increasing that, promoting the availability of the tool for the public so that they know there are alternative ways that they can report those non-urgent crimes.
Something else that's changed as we try and tackle the climate crisis and keep people safe is BC's emergency alert system, which was introduced this spring and will now be used to warn people about imminent floods, fires, and of course, the heat. Sonia Aslam, City News.
And you can head to citynews.ca for more on this special 3-part series. And the barge that's been grounded off Sunset Beach for months is finally about to be removed. The city of Vancouver isn't saying when the work will begin, but confirms the process will take months. The city says the barge will be taken apart in pieces before being recycled. It ended up just south of the Burrard Street Bridge after breaking loose in a windstorm in late November. The traffic center, and hear from Ryan Lidemark.
Greg, brand new problem in Vancouver, a stall in the Stanley Park Causeway northbound. Looks like the middle lane's blocked off. It is busy from Georgia and Denman downtown. Police are still on scene investigating a fatal collision involving a cyclist. Pacific is blocked off still, westbound between Howe and Hornby, so that's until further notice. It's a gas leak in Richmond. Westminster Highway eastbound's closed off the traffic east of number 3 Road at the BC Ferries. Boston Boot Point, 1245 is full. 315 also sold out. 545 is 95%. Boston Sports Bay, 12 almost sold out. And anything else that's happening, you can let us know. And Spring Star, 11:30. Limited time, try KFC's $15 meal for 2, packed with 2 famous chicken sandwiches and heaps of golden fries and popcorn chicken. It's Spinker looking good. Now back to the Penfold Roofing and Solar Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Carl Lamb.
It's a mostly cloudy day across the Lower Mainland. We could have a few stray showers just lingering around, but not amounting to very much. And we do stay
losses down 130 points to 19,081. At one point down more than 200 points. A similar story on Wall Street, but the Dow shrugged off the negativity and went into overdrive with the positivity of 133 points now. The S&P 500 is still down 40 points. The Nasdaq lower by 13. Crude futures down 53 cents to $111.23 a barrel. Gold is lower by $4 to $18.17 an ounce. The Canadian dollar is down slightly, sitting at 77.62 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Irene Franklin.
Watch, listen, connect. You're listening to City News 1130 with sports up next, and it's the series finale between the Jays and Red Sox, Caroline.
Jays looking for the sweep, and former Vancouver Canadian on the hill. He's facing the guy from Victoria. So much Canadian content, the stories just write themselves. I'll take a breath. Sports in 60 seconds.
Our provincial parks. Proceeds from BC Parks license plates help conserve the beauty of nature, from the peaks of our mountains to the shores of our beaches. Adventure starts with a license plate. Choose the one that gives back. Discover how BC Parks license plates help protect our parks at bcparks.ca/get involved. A message from the Government of British Columbia.
Vancouver's news. And now, this is City News 1130 everywhere.
15 degrees downtown. Good morning. I'm Greg Bowman. Here's what's making news right now. The BC government has reached a $150 million settlement with Purdue Pharma for their role in the opioid epidemic. The Ukrainian refugees coming to our province are going to get at least $900 a month in support, as was announced just moments ago by provincial officials. And coming up after sports, a new poll finding a majority of Americans say the nation's heading in the wrong direction under their current president. It's 11:15. Let's kick it down to Sportsnet 650. Home of the Canucks. Here's Caroline Frolick.
The Abbotsford Canucks have signed forward Chase Waters to a 2-year contract extension. The 22-year-old was voted the Abby Nucks Unsung Hero, an award selected by the fans and is given to a player who, quote, has exemplified sportsmanship, competitiveness, and a consistent work ethic for the team throughout the course of the season. On to baseball now. The Vancouver Canadians back at it tonight at the mat against Spokane. The 22nd-ranked Blue Jays prospect Chad Dallas gets the start. First pitch, 7:05. It is on your home to see Sportsnet 650. Former Vancouver Canadian Alex Manoah is on the hill as the Blue Jays go for the sweep of the Red Sox this evening. Manoah is in a tie for the American League lead with 9 wins on the season. In Manoah's 34 career starts, the Jays are 26-8. Red Sox scouter with Victoria's own Nick Pivetta, who's no slouch. He's won 8 games this season. However, he is 0-1 with an ERA over 7 in 2 starts against the Jays this year. Game time 4 o'clock on Sportsnet. And finally, the rubber match between the Mariners and Orioles goes this afternoon from Seattle just after 1 o'clock. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
The banks don't make things easy for anyone, especially if you're retired. I'm Tim Dolewa, founder of Freedom Capital. Having a fixed income means you might not get the financing you want or need, even though your home offers a substantial amount of equity. If you want funds to renovate, go on a dream vacation, or help family, Freedom Capital can help. We don't look at income. We rely on the equity you have already worked hard to build. Talk to Freedom Capital about how we can make your home equity work for you. Apply now at freedomcapital.com.
I'm Judy Friedman. A new poll finds an overwhelming majority of Americans say the nation's heading in the wrong direction under the current president.
The numbers are dismal for President Biden. In the first half of the year, about half of Americans said the U.S. was on the right track. Now 85% in the AP North Center for Public Affairs Research poll say it's on the wrong track. 79% say the economy's poor, and 69% say they disapprove of the president's handling of the economy. The findings suggest fundamental challenges for the president before November elections that'll decide congressional control. His overall approval rating is the same as last month, 39%, the lowest of his presidency. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
2 more people who were inside a trailer abandoned in the sweltering heat near San Antonio, Texas, have died, bringing the total to 53.
Investigators confirming the migrants were from Mexico, Honduras, and Guatemala. San Antonio's fire chief telling ABC News he cannot stop smelling the meat tenderizer it's believed the driver may have put on the bodies to mask the smell.
Somehow that was used to mask the smells of humans or things like that.
It was 103 degrees in San Antonio on Monday. Inside the trailer, investigators say it was much hotter. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The U.S. Secret Service is reportedly planning to dispute claims made by a former White House aide during yesterday's surprise hearing of the January 6th committee. Cassidy Hutchinson testified that former President Donald Trump got into an altercation with Secret Service agents on the day of the Capitol breach. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Hutchinson testified that Trump insisted on leading the mob of his supporters to the Capitol. Hutchinson says after Trump's rally on January 6th, he was under the impression he was headed to the Capitol in his presidential SUV. But Hutchinson testified that she heard a second-hand account of how Trump became irate when his lead Secret Service agent Robert Engel refused to take him to the Capitol. Sources say the Secret Service agents involved are willing to respond under oath and plan to say there was no physical altercation in the vehicle.
Hutchinson's attorney tweeted overnight saying Ms. Hutchinson testified under oath and recounted what she was told. On the Truth Social
and Tim's new loaded bowls. The same delicious loaded wrap ingredients like tasty greens, seasoned chicken, and habanero or cilantro livestock are now in a bowl. Tim's new loaded bowls and wraps. Try one today at participating restaurants in Canada.
With mobile stations in the same parking lot where you get your protein, pasta, and produce, aka the groceries, filling the tank when you fill the trunk is more convenient than... Look, if there's something more convenient than filling up at a mobile station located less than 100 meters from the grocery store where you earn PC Optimum points, it hasn't been invented. Yet. Fuel efficiently. Mobile.
This is Brother Jake. Don't be afraid of renting a home. Go to rentinfo.ca. There's some citizens proven with their experience in property management for over 30 years. Come home to rentinfo.ca. Powered by Peninsula Property Management.
It's 11:21. This is News 11:30 Traffic Center. Watch out for a stall in Vancouver and the Stanley Park Causeway northbound. Right in the middle of the park, we're in the right lane, and it's busy both directions. Downtown Vancouver, police are on scene investigating a fatal collision involving a cyclist. Pacific is blocked off westbound Howard Orby until further notice. Richmond, there's a gas leak. Westminster Highway eastbound closed off to number 3 Road, and at the BC Ferries. Boston Point, 12:45 through 15 sailings are full. Boston Sports Bay, the 11 just left. The 12 is almost sold out. So Horseshoe Bay to Departure Bay, 11:05 is gone as well. There's a mechanical issue. 12:25 to the Departure Bay. The 2:45 from Horseshoe Bay have been canceled. Traffic is brought to you by BC